Every night, you close your eyes, thinking you're just resting. You're not. Because the moment your body shuts down, something else wakes up. Your consciousness moves, but not always back to you. Some wake up with memories of places they've never seen. Others return with knowledge they were never taught. And a few? They don't wake up the same. Ancient civilizations knew sleep was a portal. Modern science still can't explain why your brain is more active at night than when you're awake. But here's what should terrify you. Not everyone who sleeps is the same person when they wake up. Tonight, when you close your eyes, will you? But before we dive in, a quick thank you to everyone who subscribed to the newsletter. You're now part of a growing community that seeks the truth behind reality and beyond. If you haven't checked out the latest issue yet, you can find it below. Now back to sleep. They told you dreams are random, just flickers of neurons firing in your brain. But if that were true, why do people dream of events before they happen? Why have countless of people met their future partners or children in dreams before ever meeting them in real life? Why do some wake up certain they traveled somewhere beyond this world, but with no explanation? Most people assume sleep is just your brain powering down, but nothing could be further from the truth. Your prefrontal cortex, logic and reasoning, shuts off, but your subconscious mind activates. Your limbic system, emotion, intuition, and memory, becomes hyperactive. Your brainwaves shift to altered states, the same frequency seen in deep meditation and near-death experiences. The question is, why? Why does your mind create entire worlds, conversations, and experiences while you sleep? Ancient knowledge has an answer. And this is just the beginning. Because if you think sleep is just about rest, you're about to wake up. Your consciousness doesn't shut off when you sleep. It shifts. It leaves your body, travels, moves beyond the limits of time, beyond the physical world. And some of the greatest minds in history knew this. Nikola Tesla credited his most profound discoveries to visions that came to him in dreams. Famous Indian mathematical genius, Srinivasa Ramanujan, claimed that Hindu deities revealed complex equations to him in dreams, equations so advanced that modern scientists are still trying to understand them. And Abraham Lincoln dreamed of his own assassination days before it happened. Even Jesus left a lot of clues about dreaming. See, Jesus didn't just teach, he revealed. His words weren't just lessons, they were codes, clues left behind for those willing to see, and one of his greatest revelations. Dreams were never just dreams. The Bible is filled with moments where God speaks, not through preachers, not through written words, but through dreams. Prophets received divine warnings while they slept. Kings made decisions based on visions in the night. Even Joseph, the earthly father of Jesus, was guided entirely by dream revelations. For God does speak, now one way, now another, though no one perceives it. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on people as they slumber in their beds. This wasn't a poetic metaphor, this was a blueprint, a direct acknowledgement that divine communication happens when the conscious mind is silent, when the distractions of the world fade away. Jesus himself used dreams and visions to guide his disciples. He told them to pay attention, to seek answers beyond the physical world. He spoke of the kingdom of heaven being within you, a clear indication that the connection to God isn't just external, but deeply internal. But here's the part they don't emphasize. Jacob's ladder dream wasn't just symbolic. It revealed a direct connection between heaven and earth. Genesis 28. Daniel's visions decoded the future, exposing empires before they even existed. Daniel 7. Pharaoh's dream predicted 7 years of famine, and Joseph's interpretation saved entire nations. Genesis 41. Why does this matter? Because these weren't random experiences. They weren't subconscious thoughts firing at night. These dreams held truth, guidance, and warnings. What if your dreams are trying to tell you something? What if they hold answers you've been searching for? Think about it. Why do some dreams stick with you for years? Why do some feel so vivid, so real, almost like a message you're meant to remember? What if Jesus wasn't just speaking about faith, but about an ancient understanding of consciousness? What if dreams aren't just a side effect of sleep, but a direct line to something greater? And here's the biggest realization. If God still speaks through dreams today, what has He been trying to tell you? So do you think these examples were coincidences, or evidence that dreams are more than just fiction? And if dreams aren't random, if sleep is more than rest, then what exactly is happening? The answer lies in something they don't teach you in school. See, you consist of more than just your physical body. You've been taught that you are just a physical being, just flesh and bone, chemicals and neurons. But that is the biggest lie ever told, because you are so much more than just that. In fact, you exist across 4 distinct layers, each one influencing your reality in ways you've never imagined, and definitely haven't been told. Every single night when you sleep, these hidden layers become activated, guiding experiences that shape your waking life. First, there's your physical body, the temporary vessel. This is the part that stays behind when you drift off to sleep. It repairs, heals, and regenerates while your other layers travel freely. But here's the thing. Your physical body is actually the least important part of who you really are. It's just a shell, a vehicle you use temporarily. Then, there's your mental body, the architect of thought. Your mind never truly rests. Even in sleep, it processes everything you've experienced throughout the day, rearranging memories and deleting what's unnecessary. But sometimes, your mind does something incredible. It taps into information beyond ordinary reality. This is why you sometimes wake up with sudden realizations, creative breakthroughs, or solutions to problems you never consciously solved. Next comes your emotional body, the hidden gatekeeper of your inner world. Your emotions don't vanish when you close your eyes. Instead, your emotional body uses dreams to purge unresolved fears, pain, and buried trauma. Have you ever woken from a nightmare and wondered why it felt so real? That was no accident. It was your emotional body forcing you to confront something you've tried to ignore. And finally, your spiritual body, the traveler between worlds. Now this is where things get truly powerful and even dangerous, especially to those who'd rather keep you asleep, because your spiritual body doesn't remain confined to your bed. It leaves, traveling beyond time, beyond space, beyond even this dimension. And if you learn how to control this travel, you gain access to other realms, hidden knowledge, and perhaps even glimpses of your own future. This is why sleep isn't just sleep. It's a full reset of all 4 of your bodies, preparing you for deeper understanding, higher wisdom, and true awakening. There's a reason ancient civilizations were so deeply obsessed with dreams. The Egyptians didn't just dream. They built entire dream temples dedicated solely to exploring these hidden realms. Initiates would enter altered states of consciousness to communicate directly with the gods, receiving powerful visions, guidance, and messages from beyond. The Tibetans took it even further. They perfected the art known as dream yoga, training themselves to remain fully conscious while their bodies slept. They understood what modern science refuses to acknowledge. Sleep is not just sleep. It is a portal. Every night, when you fall asleep, you step into a world without time, without limits. Some call it the astral plane. Others call it the collective unconscious. But the truth is, no single label can define it, because it's not just one place. It's infinite places. Some people wake up remembering nothing. Others wake up with visions of the future. And some never wake up the same again. There's something inside you that connects you to other dimensions. Something ancient, something powerful, and they've spent centuries trying to shut it down. It's called DMT, the spirit molecule, and it holds the key to understanding why your dreams feel so real, and why they might not be dreams at all. Because what if I told you that every night as you sleep, your brain floods itself with a compound that some describe as a gateway to higher dimensions? That the dreams you experience aren't just random. They're the result of chemical activation designed to let your consciousness leave this world. And that the secret to controlling this power has been hidden from you on purpose. This is what they don't want you to know. Deep inside your brain, buried within the center of your consciousness, lies something extraordinary. A tiny, pea-sized gland, the pineal gland. For centuries, it has been referred to as the third eye. Because this isn't just a gland, it's a gateway. Ancient civilizations knew this. The Egyptians depicted it as the Eye of Horus. The Hindus called it the Ajna Chakra, the seat of higher consciousness. The Taoists believed it was the bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. And modern science? They barely talk about it. Because the moment you realize what the pineal gland can do, you start to see why they've been working so hard to keep it dormant. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The pineal gland produces a mysterious substance. You probably heard of it before. It's called DMT, and it's one of the most powerful psychedelic compounds known to man. One that scientists still don't fully understand. But here's what we do know already. DMT is naturally released in massive amounts during birth, death, deep meditation, and sleep. It has been used in shamanic rituals for thousands of years, allowing people to experience visions, spiritual entities, and out-of-body journeys. Those who have taken high doses of DMT report traveling to other dimensions, meeting intelligent beings and seeing geometric, hyper-real worlds beyond human understanding. Sound familiar? Because that's exactly what happens when you dream. Every night, your brain releases a small but powerful dose of DMT, allowing your consciousness to slip into other realms. And if you've ever felt like a dream was more real than reality itself, that's because, for a few hours, you are seeing beyond the illusion of this world. See if DMT allows people to experience other dimensions, and it naturally floods your brain every night. Then ask yourself, why does society tell you that dreams don't matter? Why do they push sleeping pills that suppress dream recall? Because the moment you start exploring your dreams with intention, you start activating the dormant parts of your mind. You start seeing beyond the illusion of control. And once you do that, you can't be manipulated anymore. Something terrifying happens when people die and then come back. Doctors call it a near-death experience. But what people report during these experiences is not what science expected. They describe floating above their bodies, watching everything happen in real time. They see tunnels of light, otherworldly landscapes, and beings of pure energy. They experience a sense of unity, knowledge, and an overwhelming feeling of peace. And guess what? The brain floods itself with DMT at the exact moment of death. This isn't a hallucination. It's the activation of a natural process, one that happens every night when you sleep. The only difference? When you dream, your physical body is still alive. Modern science treats dreams like random noise, a byproduct of life, but it's not. Ancient cultures treated them like sacred doorways. The Egyptians believed dreams were messages from the gods. The Tibetan Buddhists developed dream yoga, training themselves to remain conscious while dreaming, so they could explore higher realms at will. The Amazonian shamans used ayahuasca, a DMT-rich brew, to enter dreamlike states and speak to spiritual entities beyond time and space. They all understood the same thing. But if dreams allow access to higher states of consciousness, if the pineal gland is a biological stargate, then why do most people barely remember their dreams at all? Because they've engineered society to keep you disconnected. Artificial light suppresses melatonin, disrupting the dream cycle. Media overload keeps your brain distracted, lowering dream recall. Pharmaceuticals. Many sleeping pills block REM sleep, cutting off your ability to dream vividly. Every system in place is designed to make sure you never wake up, even when you sleep. But here's the thing. You can take back control. If you want to start remembering your dreams, if you want to tap into the hidden knowledge locked inside your mind, you have to detox and reactivate your pineal gland. Here's how. Sunlight and darkness. Balance. Expose yourself to natural sunlight in the day and avoid screens at night to restore your natural sleep rhythm. Lucid dream training. Practice reality checks during the day, am I dreaming, to increase your awareness inside dreams. Meditation and breathwork. Deep breathing techniques stimulate the pineal gland, leading to more vivid dreams. DMT-rich foods. Raw cacao, turmeric, and certain herbs naturally activate the third eye. The more you do this, the more your dreams will change. You'll start remembering details you never noticed before. You'll start experiencing things that can't be explained, and eventually, you'll see through the illusion completely. And if sleep is a gateway, if your consciousness travels beyond this world every night, then ask yourself, why are people taught to ignore their dreams? Why are sleeping pills and modern distractions designed to suppress dream recall? The answer is simple. Because when you forget your dreams, you forget who you really are. You forget that you are more than a biological machine. You forget that you have the power to access knowledge beyond this realm. You forget that this world is just one layer of reality. And the more disconnected you are, the easier you are to control. Because a person who remembers their dreams is dangerous. A person who understands the power of sleep is uncontrollable. Tonight, when you sleep, pay attention. Set an intention. Before you close your eyes, ask yourself a question, something you truly want to know. And when you wake up, write down whatever comes to you. Because the moment you start remembering your dreams, you start remembering yourself. And once that happens, they can no longer keep you asleep. Throughout history, there have been countless cases of people dreaming about future events with eerie accuracy. From disasters to personal tragedies, precognitive dreams suggest that time is not as linear as we believe. Could your subconscious mind be tapping into the future, using sleep as a portal to break free from time itself? Dreams that predicted the future, the evidence no one can ignore. Abraham Lincoln predicted his own death. 3 days before he was shot, Lincoln told his wife and friends about a haunting dream. He found himself in the White House, wandering through the halls, until he came across a room filled with mourners. When he asked, "Who has died?" a soldier responded, "The president." 3 days later, Lincoln was assassinated. One of the most chilling examples of dreams, or perhaps something even greater, predicting future events is the Titanic disaster. And the strangest part, it was written in exact detail 14 years before it happened. A writer named Morgan Robertson published a book called The Wreck of the Titan. It described a massive luxury ship named Titan, which hit an iceberg and sank due to a lack of lifeboats. When the real Titanic disaster happened in 1912, the parallels were uncanny. But here's where it gets even stranger. Robertson's novel wasn't just eerily similar in plot, it was almost mathematically identical to the real Titanic specifications. The similarities are mind-blowing. Both ships were considered unsinkable. Both were the largest ships of their time. Both carried too few lifeboats for the passengers on board. Both hit an iceberg in the North Atlantic Ocean on an April night. Both disasters resulted in massive loss of life. The Titan was 800 feet long. The Titanic was 882 feet long. The Titan traveled at 25 knots. The Titanic at 22.5 knots. The Titan carried 3,000 passengers. The Titanic had 2,435 passengers. But how did Robertson write this? Some call it coincidence, but the level of precision makes that hard to believe. Was Robertson unknowingly tapping into a future event? Was he accessing a vision beyond time, glimpsing a reality that had yet to unfold? If you ask me, he did tap into the future, whether through dreams, deep intuition, or even meditation. His mind accessed something outside of linear time, something most people ignore or dismiss. And if he could do it, you can too. But if time is truly linear, how do we explain this? The answer may lie in quantum physics, suggesting that time isn't a straight line, but a series of interconnected probabilities. Some believe that dreams can bypass these limitations, allowing us to see future events before they unfold. Studies show that time works differently in dreams. People who experience lucid dreams often report feeling like they've spent hours, days, or even weeks in a single dream, even though only a few minutes have passed in real life. This aligns with Einstein's theory that time is relative, meaning our subconscious may not be bound by the same linear timeline as our waking mind. Now, in a groundbreaking sleep study, something happened that science can't explain. Participants accurately described images they had never seen, before those images were even chosen. Listen to that again. They dreamed of something before it even existed in their reality. Dr. Stanley Krippner, a world-renowned dream researcher, designed an experiment to test this. The results? Shocking. Participants were placed in a sleep lab and monitored during REM sleep, the stage where dreams occur. While they slept, researchers in another room randomly selected an image from a pool of thousands. But here's the catch. The image was chosen after the participant had already fallen asleep. When the participants woke up, they described their dreams. The shocking part. Many had dreamt of the exact images that were later selected, before they had ever seen them in waking life. Let that sink in. Their minds weren't just making up random scenes. They were accessing something beyond time. If this is true, if your dreams can tap into the future before it happens, what else are they trying to show you? How many times have you brushed off a vivid dream only to see it unfold in reality days, weeks, or months later? Most people ignore it. They call it déjà vu. But what if it's not déjà vu at all? What if your dreams are warning you, guiding you, or revealing something bigger than you ever imagined? And the real question is, are you paying attention? It means your subconscious isn't bound by time. While you sleep, your mind may be accessing future events before they unfold, giving you glimpses of what's coming, whether you realize it or not. How many times have you had a dream, only to see it play out in real life days, weeks, or months later? Most people brush it off. They call it déjà vu. But what if it's not déjà vu at all? What if your dreams are trying to tell you something real, something meant for you to see before it happens? Now the real question is, what have your dreams been trying to show you? Think back. That dream that felt too real to ignore. The one that stuck with you for days, maybe even years. The one you dismissed as just a dream. What if it wasn't? What if that nightmare was a warning? That vivid vision was a preview? That unshakable feeling was a message you were meant to receive? History is filled with people who ignored their dreams, only to watch them unfold in real life. Those who saw disaster coming but dismissed it as nonsense. Those who dreamed of a chance encounter, a life-changing opportunity, a critical decision, but let it slip away because they thought dreams weren't real. But now you know better. If dreams can show us what's ahead, what have yours been trying to tell you? And more importantly, what happens if you ignore them? And if that's true, what warnings have your dreams been giving you? But if dreams can predict real-life events, then time isn't as rigid as we think. Some scientists believe that the subconscious mind operates outside of time, meaning that in sleep, we can access future possibilities before they unfold. Many spiritual traditions claim that in dreams, our consciousness can move through time and space, accessing knowledge that hasn't yet reached the physical world. But if dreams can predict the future, then we have to ask, what else is buried inside our subconscious mind? Because not all dreams bring guidance. Some bring fear. Some wake you up in the dead of night, paralyzed, unable to move, trapped between worlds. And when that happens, you're not alone. What if those terrifying moments when you wake up, completely frozen, weren't just brain malfunctions, but something much darker? Millions of people around the world experience sleep paralysis, a phenomenon where the body is awake but locked in place, the mind fully conscious yet powerless to move. And almost every account describes the same thing: a dark presence in the room, a shadow standing at the foot of the bed, a weight pressing down on the chest, a feeling of being watched. Science calls it a misfire of the brain. But if that's all it is, why do people from every culture, every country, every background describe the same eerie figures? What if sleep paralysis isn't just a trick of the mind, but a glimpse into something we're not supposed to see? And in many cultures, sleep paralysis is described as an entity sitting on the chest of the victim, suffocating them. In the Caribbean, this is called being ridden by the hag. In Japan, it's known as kanashibari, meaning bound by unseen forces. Mainstream scientists claim that sleep paralysis is just a neurological misfire. Your brain wakes up, but your body is still in sleep mode. But if that's the case, why do so many people see the same shadowy figures? Why do they feel overwhelming terror, unlike any normal nightmare? During the Cold War, the CIA and Soviet Russia conducted secret experiments on sleep paralysis, hallucinations, and altered states of consciousness. For decades, the CIA has studied altered states of consciousness, not just for psychology, but for something far more mysterious. Declassified documents reveal that during the Cold War, the US government ran extensive programs on sleep states, altered perception, and interdimensional awareness. These weren't just random experiments, they were part of a global race to unlock the hidden potential of the human mind. One of the most infamous projects, MK Ultra, focused on breaking the limits of the mind, using hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and drugs to alter perception and unlock abilities beyond normal consciousness. One of the most infamous secret programs, MK Ultra, was designed to study mind control, hypnosis, and altered states using drugs, sensory deprivation, and sleep manipulation. Participants were forced into deep hypnotic sleep, where they reported seeing shadowy entities, hearing strange voices, and even experiencing out-of-body travel. Some accounts suggest the CIA wasn't just interested in controlling the human mind. They were testing whether the mind could be used as a tool to interact with non-physical realms. Project Stargate, 1978 to 1995. The CIA and the US military launched Project Stargate to explore remote viewing, the ability to see distant places using only the mind. Subjects in altered sleep states accurately described locations thousands of miles away, suggesting that consciousness can exist outside the body. Some participants reported visions of entities observing them while in a trance-like state, entities they had never seen before, but described with eerie consistency. Soviet sleep research, 1970s to 1980s. The Soviets had their own version of these programs, studying whether dream states could be used to spy on enemies, influence minds, or access knowledge from other dimensions. Soviet scientists conducted forced sleep paralysis experiments, where participants described entering a shadow world, a dimension parallel to ours, where they encountered beings they couldn't explain. Some subjects in these Soviet studies refused to sleep again, claiming that whatever they saw in their paralysis wasn't just a hallucination, but something real. But did the CIA discover something about sleep paralysis? The short answer, yes. And whatever they found, it was significant enough to classify. Some scientists and spiritual researchers now believe that during sleep paralysis, the human mind briefly perceives things that exist beyond normal reality. Think about it. If we can only see a tiny fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum, what else is around us that our waking senses can't perceive? Are shadow figures real, but hidden, only visible when the mind enters an altered state? Are they watching us all the time, but we only notice them when our brain shifts out of normal perception? Is sleep paralysis actually a glitch, or a brief moment of seeing reality without the mental filters that usually keep us blind. If intelligence agencies believed there was something real about these experiences, what did they discover that we still don't know? And what if you could wake up inside your dreams and take full control? Imagine being able to fly, visit other dimensions, or even access hidden knowledge, all while sleeping. This isn't just fantasy. It's called lucid dreaming, and it's one of the most powerful abilities your mind possesses. Lucid dreaming proves one thing. Your consciousness doesn't just shut down at night. It remains aware, and in some cases it can control the dream world. But here's the real question. If you can wake up in a dream, does that mean you're dreaming right now? Lucid dreaming isn't just a strange ability. It's a powerful tool that some of history's greatest minds used to unlock hidden knowledge, creativity, and even technology. As an example, genius Nikola Tesla claimed he was able to visualize entire machines in his dreams, seeing them work in real time before ever building them. He believed that dreams were a higher state of consciousness where advanced ideas already existed. And the surrealist painter Salvador Dalí developed a technique to capture dream imagery. He would hold a spoon over a plate while falling asleep. The moment he entered a dream, his hand relaxed. The spoon dropped and the noise woke him up, allowing him to immediately capture his dream's imagery. The CIA's interest in lucid dreaming. Declassified CIA documents reveal that the US military studied lucid dreaming for espionage and mind control. If the government is studying it, what else do they know that we don't? How to train your mind for lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming isn't just for mystics and monks. Anyone can learn it. Here's how. Method 1, the reality check. Method. Throughout the day, ask yourself, am I dreaming? This habit carries over into dreams, making you realize you're in one. Method 2, the wake back to bed technique. Wake up 90 minutes before your normal time. Stay awake for 10 minutes, then go back to sleep. This increases the chance of entering a lucid dream. Method 3, the finger movement trick. As you fall asleep, slightly move your fingers, mimicking playing the piano. This keeps your mind awake while your body falls asleep, leading to a lucid dream. But what happens when you wake up inside a dream? What happens when the illusion collapses and you realize that time, the thing we believe is constant, linear, unchangeable, was never real to begin with? People who experience lucid dreams, near-death experiences, or deep meditation report something that defies logic. Time bends, stretches, loops. Some live years inside a single dream, only to wake up and realize they were asleep for minutes. Others dream of the future before it happens, proof that time isn't just moving forward, but existing all at once. And then there are stories that go even further, stories that make you question if waking life is any more real than the dreams we forget. A Reddit user once shared an experience so disturbing, so reality-shattering, that it stayed with him for life. He closed his eyes for what should have been an ordinary nap, but when he opened them inside the dream, he was somewhere else. Not as a visitor, but as someone who had always been there. In this dream world, he had a home, a wife, children, a life with decades of memories. He could recall growing up, the streets he played on as a child, the laughter of his friends. Every detail felt as real as waking life. And then one day, he noticed something strange. A lamp in his dream home, a simple, everyday object. But something about it felt wrong. Like it didn't belong, like it was a crack in the illusion. He fixated on it. He stared at it, questioning why it was there. And the moment he became aware, everything collapsed. His wife, gone. His children, never existed. His entire life, erased in an instant. He woke up, not in the home he had known for years, but in his actual reality, staring at the ceiling, disoriented, traumatized. To him, the life he lived was as real as this one. And yet, only minutes had passed. This isn't just an isolated experience, and stories like this appear again and again. Entire lifetimes lived in dreams. Events foreseen before they happen. Moments that stretch into eternity, only to snap back into seconds. If time is fixed, why does it break down the moment we enter altered states? If dreams are just illusions, why do they sometimes give us glimpses of the future? And if you could live an entire life inside a dream, how do you know this life isn't just another one waiting to collapse? The truth is, we have been conditioned to believe in a version of time that keeps us trapped. But what if sleep is the only time we are actually free? This is also known as the 100-year dream phenomenon. But if you could live an entire life in a dream, how do you know this life isn't another one waiting to collapse? This is where things get unsettling. We've all heard stories of people dreaming of entire lifetimes, years, even decades inside a dream, only to wake up and realize it was all an illusion. But here's the question that no one dares to ask. How do you know this life isn't the same thing? How do you know this reality isn't just another level of the dream? One that feels more stable, more solid, but is still temporary. Ancient spiritual traditions have been saying it for centuries. This world is a dream. What we call reality is just another level of perception, another temporary experience. And just like in those long dreams, there will be a moment when you wake up. The real question is, when that happens, will you remember this life? Or will it fade, just like all the others? Not only are dreams just fragments of the mind, they are a landscape, a reality layered on top of this one, operating by its own laws. But here's what most people don't realize. Not everything in a dream is random. Not every experience is harmless. There are rules. And if you don't know them, you could find yourself trapped in situations you don't understand, making agreements you never meant to make. Because dreams aren't just illusions. They are interactions. You're in a dream, and someone offers you food. It feels normal, but here's the truth. Nothing in a dream is offered without a price. In mythology, eating food in another realm binds you to it. The ancient Greeks told of Persephone, who ate pomegranate seeds in the underworld and became tethered to it. Many cultures warn that accepting food in the dream state may be more than an action. It may be an agreement. Many spiritual traditions believe eating in a dream represents taking in an unknown energy or agreeing to something unconsciously. People who eat in dreams often wake up feeling drained, disoriented, or unable to remember what happened, as if something took something from them. If you are ever offered food in a dream, refuse it. Lucid dreaming feels like freedom. You wake up inside the dream, realizing you can shape it, control it, bend the world around you. But the moment you become aware, something else happens. The dream reacts. Time in dreams doesn't behave like in the waking world. Clocks shift, digits blur, and numbers refuse to stay the same. But here's where it gets strange. If you ask a dream character what time or date it is, they often get angry. People who have done this report dream characters freezing or glitching, unable to answer. The dream suddenly becoming unstable, distorted, or hostile. Some entities reacting aggressively as if they don't want you to question where or when you are. Why? Some believe that dreams are scripted experiences, designed to keep you engaged without questioning the nature of reality. Asking for the date breaks the illusion, like looking too closely at a background in a poorly rendered simulation. If you ever become lucid, don't ask for the time. The dream does not like to be questioned. And if you ever find yourself conscious inside a dream, do not announce it. Don't tell the figures in your dream that you know what's happening. Pretend you're still playing the role. Observe, explore, but keep your awareness to yourself, because the moment they know you're aware, the illusion starts to break. And not everything in a dream wants that to happen. There is one scenario that comes up over and over again in dreams: being asked to sign something, a contract, an agreement, a simple document. Most people brush it off. It's just a dream, they think. But if dreams are just the subconscious, Why do so many people experience this same situation? Why is there always a moment where they are asked to agree to something? Contracts in dreams often come from unknown figures, a shadowy presence, a stranger, or even a familiar face that doesn't feel quite right. If you are ever presented with a contract in a dream, refuse. Do not sign. You may not remember what you agreed to when you wake up, but the energy of that agreement may still linger. Never give permission to something you don't understand. You can't read in a dream. Here's why that matters. There's a reason books, signs, and text never stay the same in dreams. Try reading something in a dream, and you'll notice it changes the moment you look away. Why? Because you are not in the physical world. Reading requires the logical, structured part of your mind, the part tied to your physical brain. But when you're dreaming, you are not operating from that physical brain. You are experiencing the dream through your consciousness, your soul, not your body. This is one of the simplest ways to confirm that you're dreaming. If you ever suspect you're not in waking reality, try reading. If the words shift, you are somewhere else. Why dreams attack? Spiritual warfare in the dream realm. Not every dream is passive. Some feel like a battle. People report dreams where they are chased, attacked, or hunted, where they wake up physically exhausted or even with strange bruises. Science calls these nightmares. But cultures around the world recognize them as something deeper, spiritual attacks. Some report seeing shadow figures in their dreams only to wake up feeling drained. Others describe dream entities whispering things about them they should not know, as if these beings are aware of their personal lives. Many wake up from an attack frozen, unable to move, as if something is still there, still watching. If this happens to you, stand your ground. The moment you realize you are in a dream, you have power. Stop running, turn around, face whatever is chasing you. Many report that the moment they do this, the entity either vanishes or transforms into something else. The dream world is not just a projection of your mind, it is an interaction. And if you don't take control, something else might. Also in a dream, never follow a stranger. If a faceless figure, shadowy presence, or even someone familiar tries to lead you somewhere, do not go. Many people report being guided through doorways, tunnels, or hidden places, only to feel a sense of dread as they go deeper. Some experience waking up feeling drained, as if something was pulling energy from them. If someone tries to take you somewhere, question them. Ask where you are. See how they react. If the dream starts feeling off, wake yourself up immediately. Never accept a gift in a dream. If someone hands you an object, a key, a piece of jewelry, even a book, be careful. Objects in dreams often symbolize agreements. Accepting something may tie you to something you don't understand. Test it. Ask what the object is. Ask why they're giving it to you. If they avoid answering, drop it and leave. And if you see a mirror, be careful. Mirrors in dreams are not normal. Some say they are portals to other realities. Others believe they reflect your true self, unfiltered. Many report looking into a mirror in a dream and seeing something staring back at them that isn't them. Sometimes the reflection moves differently, or the face looks twisted, distorted. If you find a mirror, decide if you want to look in it. If something feels wrong, wake up. Never sleep in a dream. If you ever find a bed, couch, or another resting place inside a dream and feel an urge to lie down, resist it. Dreaming within a dream can cause false awakenings, where you think you've woken up but you're actually still trapped in another layer of the dream. People who have slept inside a dream sometimes report waking up feeling like they were somewhere else for hours or days, but unable to remember where. If a dream feels too real, it might be something else. Sometimes dreams don't feel like dreams. They feel hyper-realistic, more vivid, more intense, with clear details that shouldn't be possible. Many believe these aren't just random dreams, but actual experiences, astral travel, glimpses into parallel realities, or even moments where your consciousness is somewhere else. If you ever experience a dream that feels too real, take note. Did you feel a presence watching you? Did someone test you or ask strange questions? Did the dream feel like a memory rather than a vision? If the answer is yes, you may have been somewhere else. Never include people from real life in your dreams. Too often, it can alter your memories. Dreams feel vivid, immersive, and sometimes too real. But here's something most people never realize. Your brain can create false memories inside dreams, and if you're not careful, they can bleed into waking life. When you frequently bring people you know into your dreams, whether intentionally or unintentionally, you risk creating memories that never actually happened. Think about it. Have you ever woken up from a dream feeling angry, sad, or betrayed because of something a loved one did, only to remember later that it wasn't real? Have you ever recalled a conversation, a moment, or an event with someone, only to realize it never actually happened outside of a dream? Have you ever had memories of experiences with someone that feel real, but you can't quite place when they happened? Dreams don't just distort reality while you're asleep. They can reshape your waking memories. Your subconscious doesn't separate real experiences from dream experiences, which means that if you interact with someone too often in your dreams, your mind might start embedding false moments into your waking memory. Over time, the lines blur. You might find yourself remembering conversations that never happened, events that were never real, and emotions tied to something that only existed in your dreams. But if a dream can alter your perception of the past, what does that say about time itself? Albert Einstein's theory of relativity shattered the idea that time is constant. It showed that time bends, stretches, and warps based on perception, gravity, and movement. So if time isn't fixed in waking life, could dreams be proof that time is nothing more than a mental construct? Many lucid dreamers have tested this. They've counted seconds inside their dreams, and their results are shocking. 10 dream minutes can feel like 1 real minute. This suggests that time inside the mind doesn't follow the same rules as time in the physical world. If we could learn to manipulate this, would that mean we could slow down, stretch, or even escape time itself? Maybe dreams aren't just distorted memories. Maybe they're showing us something far more profound about the nature of reality. Are dreams a way to escape time? Ancient mystics and shamans believed that time was an illusion, and that in dream states we access the true nature of reality, where past, present, and future exist all at once. Some people report experiencing past lives, future events, or even parallel versions of themselves in dreams. If dreams prove time isn't real, what else do they reveal? In the next section, we'll explore one of the most mind-blowing theories. Are dreams actually glimpses into alternate realities? Many people report recurring dream locations, places they've never been in waking life but somehow feel deeply familiar. Others dream of completely different lives, as if they're stepping into another version of themselves. Quantum physics suggests that reality isn't as fixed as we think. The many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics states that every decision we make splits reality into infinite parallel versions. If this is true, then your dreams might not be fiction. They might be experiences from another version of you living in a different timeline. Some people dream of the same mysterious city, house, or landscape over and over, despite never having seen it in real life. These places feel eerily familiar, as if they've been there before, but only in dreams. Could this be a memory from another life running parallel to ours? Some people wake up knowing skills they never learned in waking life, like speaking a foreign language, playing an instrument, or even recalling memories that aren't theirs. Could these be abilities from another version of themselves in a parallel universe? The many worlds interpretation suggests that all possible realities exist simultaneously, but we only experience one at a time. In dreams, we may be breaking free from the limitations of a single reality, stepping into an existence that already exists elsewhere. In Tibetan Buddhism, dream states are believed to be a gateway to parallel dimensions, and indigenous shamans use dreams to receive visions and travel between worlds. Some traditions even claim that in dreams, you can meet different versions of yourself from alternate realities, if dreams are actually portals to the multiverse. Why do we forget most of them when we wake up? Have you ever woken up from an intense dream, only for it to vanish from your memory within minutes? Most people forget 90% of their dreams within the first 10 minutes of waking up. But why? What if this isn't just a biological quirk? What if something, whether your brain, society, or even hidden forces, is making you forget your dreams on purpose? Could it be that your dreams contain knowledge you're not supposed to access? The memory deletion hypothesis. Some researchers believe that dream memory is erased by design to keep us tied to the physical world. If dreams contain messages, glimpses of the future, or even access to alternate dimensions, then why do we forget them so easily? Some theories suggest that remembering dreams too vividly might make us question reality itself. The CIA's secret dream control experiments. Declassified documents from MKUltra and other mind control programs reveal that the US government has studied ways to manipulate and suppress dreams. Why? Because if you can control dreams, you can control perception. Some believe that media, technology, and modern lifestyle disconnect us from the dream world, making it harder to access higher consciousness. How to train your mind to remember your dreams. If dreams truly hold hidden knowledge, then remembering them is crucial. Here's how to do it. First method is the dream journal method. Keep a notebook next to your bed and write down anything you remember immediately upon waking up. This trains your brain to retain dream memories. Second method is the wake back to bed trick. Wake up 90 minutes before your normal time. Stay awake for 10 minutes, then go back to sleep. This makes dreams more vivid and easier to recall. The third method is called the dream affirmation technique. Before you sleep, tell yourself, "I will remember my dreams." Repeating this simple phrase increases dream recall. If dreams are truly a hidden gateway to deeper knowledge, then forgetting them is the same as being cut off from part of our reality. In the movie Inception, the deeper you go, the harder it is to tell what's real and what's the illusion. But what if that's not just a movie? What if your own dreams are operating the same way? What if there are hidden layers of reality that you were never meant to remember? That's exactly why I created the free newsletter, to go deeper into these hidden truths beyond what can be posted here. Subscribe now for free at the link below. Wake up. Remember, find the exit before the dream pulls you back in. Comment below, layer collapsed. If you've made it this far, prove you're aware. Thanks for watching and see you next time.